today I wanted to just go over and feel free to follow along and kind of use this as a workshop at the same time we're doing kind of some training on lead generation. I see a lot of agents still sharing their listings from like MLS and MLS Property Finder and MLS on the Facebook. I know there's a Facebook share button on all your listings, but to me, that's, I guess, better than nothing, but it's not a lead capture. So people will come and go, and you'll never know they actually have a listed listing. So whether you're asking your client to share your listing, and obviously anytime you're sharing on your own Facebook page, I would ask the seller to make sure that it's okay, because some sellers are kind of a little bit weird about selling their home. They don't want everybody to know, but obviously they should want everybody to know, because that's going to expose the house to more people. Is ask them if you can tag them in the post, because obviously they're connected to a lot more people than you're connected to. So the more shares you can get, the more tags you can put in it with the seller, the better off you'll be. But whatever you are sharing, I would prefer that everybody use something that's a lead capture. The website that we give you, exithomesforyou.com, is a lead capture if you drive into that website. So it's better off that you share from there, because if someone goes from Facebook, clicks on the link to your shared listing from your website, within a couple clicks, they're going to be required to register. So if they want information on the property, they're going to register with that one. There's another way I'll show you also that can be used through, you can either use exitrealty.com or you can use Exit Listings to use the text codes to generate leads by putting so just a picture and let's say the address, not even the address, the town, maybe the price, town price, no address, and put the text code for more information on there. It's going to drive people to want to text that number to get more information on what that listing is. So in this world, pretty much buyers want to remain anonymous until they have a reason or need information and they want to give their information out. So that's the battle we face as real estate agents all day long, is people wanting to use the internet to be completely anonymous until they're ready to sign on the dotted line. And that doesn't do you any good as a real estate agent in trying to capture people and tell them why they should all be working with a buyer's agent. Buyer agency's been around forever, but for some reason buyers still don't understand the process and the fact that the seller pays commission, and that they'd be stupid to not have the buyer's agent on the side, especially in this market with how crazy it is. You know, they should almost be interviewing buyer's agents these days for somebody that's going to work hard for them and not just gone are the days where, you know, the lazy agent could just put someone on MLS and say, okay, when you see something you like, let me know and we'll go see it. If you're just doing that, you're probably going to lose a lot of properties, because buyers would be like, oh, okay, I saw one yesterday or the day before, and I want to go see it this weekend, and it's going to be gone by the weekend. So, you know, if a real estate agent was out there telling them, hey, this one hit the market, we have to go see it today. So that's the kind of, you can't get in front of them and tell them all these things unless you have their information. So I want to make sure everybody has good techniques for lead generation. So everybody, maybe not you, Jake, yet, but do you have your Exit Homes For You website yet? Okay. So you all have your website. Do you know, everybody know how to log in? So you go to it's going to be your domain -admin. So mine would be tracy.exithomesforyou.com, but I'm going to log into the main website. But it'll be /admin. So whatever your domain is, add /admin at the end of it, and your login page is going to come up. You'll get your login when you get your page set up, and you'll be able to log in the back of the page. The reason you want to log in before you start sharing listings is because if you open another window and start trying to share listings, it won't be trying to capture you. If you don't log in on one box and then open up your website on another box, it'll be constantly trying to grab your information. It thinks you're just a random person off the street trying to get information on listings. So once you're logged in, it'll know you're logged in, and then it won't try to capture you anymore. So we're going to pull open another page. This is my admin account. So These are all the agents on the right side that are capturing leads. It is successful at capturing leads. There's a lot of people, a lot of agents are capturing leads with this if they're using it effectively. You can see there's a lot of activity going on. So it does work if you use it. We won't go into how to work the leads today. We'll do that in another class. But once you register, basically you'll see everything they ever do on the website. You'll see how many times they've been on there, how many properties they've been looking at. You can click on them. You can see more information about them. You can see if they're set up on any listing alerts. You can set them up for listing alerts. You can pretty much work them completely through the system. But I always say use technology second, use your voice first. So as soon as someone registers on your website, if there's a phone number, like these all have phone numbers, call them up. That's the best thing you can do right away, is just call them up, start to have a chat with them. They still want to remain anonymous, even though they signed up in the pop-up box. So you want to try to drag them out of anonymous.
But not at 3:30 in the morning.
No, probably not 2:30 in the morning. Well, I mean, if they're up.
If they're writing you at 3:30, do you have to respond?
No.
No, it would be a position.
Oh, okay.
No way. Your arm's going to be sore by the time we're done today. All right. Now I'm going to open another window and I'm just going to go to my website. Now we're going to start to try to share listings to our Facebook page. You have to be logged into your Facebook page, obviously. But once you're logged into your Facebook page, it's very easy to share listings or even anything you can search for on your website onto Facebook. So if you don't have listings, we have office listings. You can certainly use office listings and share office listings on your page. Pretty much everybody in the office is fine with it, only because we're all connected to different people, and the more we share listings, the more opportunity we have to sell our sellers' listings. Job number one always is selling your sellers' listings, so the more exposure you can get, the better. There's some agents I see with a lot of other companies that are very private and secretive with their listings. They don't want anybody ever in their offices sharing them. I think it's silly and not really doing your job for your seller, because you're not allowing exposure as much as possible. So now we're on our website. We're going to do a search, and I'm going to just start by posting an office listing. So I know I have a listing on, so if you know your listing, you can, come on. I paid a lot more money to get a lot faster internet. It's raining.
It's raining.
Yeah. Every time we're here, it's raining.
All right, I'm just going to go. So if you know your listing, you can type it in. All mine are under current. Mine are the ones I'm trying to do are on these positives, so it's probably not going to come up. If you scroll down past the search bar, you'll see office. You'll see it's set up with office listings to populate in the bottom screen, so you can find. You can either look for listings that way quick, or you can type in their address if you have the address. So featured listings, these are all office listings. So I think this is one of Karen's. So this is one of Karen's. So I'm going to pull open this listing. So let's say this is one of your listings, or you just wanted to share this as an office listing. You open up the listing and you hit the share button. And you click on Facebook. So if you have a Pinterest account or
any other accounts, you can do it on multiple avenues. I think Facebook works the best. Come on. I'm going to kill Charter. I swear to God. I hate that company. What is this? Oh. Let's go back there. Try it out. So aggravated with this thing. What's going on? Oh, there it is. All right, so it did pop up. So I'm going to share it on my timeline. So pop-up box will come up, share on Facebook. You pick your timeline. If you have a business page, you can pick your business page. If you're going to do advertising, if you're just going to do boosts, you probably want to share it to your business page. If you're going to create an ad, which we'll do in a second, then you want to do it to your, then it doesn't really matter if you do it to your personal page or your business page. But let's just share it on my timeline to start. Actually, let's share it in a page I manage. I'm going to put it on the partners page. And then you want to say something about it. So if you're doing an open house, it would be, you probably want to do, so even if you're volunteering to do an open house for another real estate agent, you want to go into exithomesforyou.com, find that listing, and share it, and just put on there open house Sunday. And I'll show you how you can even do a boost ad for 10 or 20 bucks to try to get more people in your open house and get registrations on your exit page. So we're going to just say, great listing. We'll sell fast. What's that going to work? Okay, so it's just put in your message, hit post to Facebook, and you're done. You basically just share the listing. And if you're sharing your listings that way, when someone clicks on that, that ad, it's going to take them over and it's going to try to capture them. If I log out of my back page, you would actually see how it works. But let me just go to the TrueBit page. So there's the ad. If we clicked on it, it's going to take us over to Exit Home, your website. It'll brand it to you on that website. And it's showing up Karen's branding still because I'm on the office website, but if it was on yours, it would show your branding. So if they keep fooling around with it and looking at it, it's going to pop up the box and make them register. It's not making me register because I'm still logged into my website. So if you want to test how it's working,
make sure you're logged out of the back end of your website, otherwise it'll be not trying to capture you. All right, so let's go back to the website. So that's basically sharing a listing. You can also share anything you want to search. So if you just want leads in, let's say, Holden, you would just come on your website and do a search for Holden Homes. So you always want to make sure you don't have any searches up there already. So I'm going to get rid of Auburn, and I'm just going to put in Holden. So town of Holden. Whatever you want them to see when they land, make sure it's the way. Why is there one listing showing it?
We have a high to low. So
No, let's see if I can filter
you
this.
have another filter.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, I don't know what I was doing. So this is the result. It's going to be high to low. If you wanted to change it low to high, you could change it low to high. If you wanted to put a price range in there, you could. So they always say with like Facebook ads, you know, try to direct who you're looking for. So if you don't want clients that are looking for houses under, let's say, 200,000, then don't include them. Let's say your prime range, what you want clients in, is the $200,000 to $400,000 range. So we're going to add that as a criteria. So now it's showing 30 results in Holden for homes between 200 and 400,000. So now all we're going to do is going to copy the URL out of the top window. And now we're going to go directly to Facebook because you can't just share. You can share listings, you can't share price ranges, so you have to basically build what you're advertising on Facebook. So now I'm going to go to Facebook, and I could do this on my business page, or I could do it on my personal page. It doesn't really matter. First I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that URL. And it's going to pull in pictures from the website. You can change these pictures. So if you have like a picture of a town sign or something, you could go to Google Images and you could find an image that relates to Auburn, Mass. And you could put that in there as an image, or you can leave the image that populates from the website. This is going to automatically populate here, so you want to make sure you change that to whatever town you're advertising. The other nice thing about this is it automatically creates in Facebook a multi-tiered advertising. So if you wanted to do 4 different price ranges, you could do 4 different price ranges. On each tab, you basically go in and you're changing. You can click on this little symbol right here and change the URL. So you could, the first URL is going to be the 200 to 400,000. The next picture, you could do the URL for 400 to 600,000. You just go back to your website, change the search to 400 to 600,000, take that URL and put it in this box. So you basically could create different price categories in a single ad. I'm just going to take these out. If you don't and you just want the single tab ad, you just basically take out the other tabs by Xing them. And you're just going to make it a single tier ad. And now that's what the single ad looks like. Auburn, Mass. You can change this to be like Auburn's a great town for, close to the pike, whatever you want to put. You also can erase this URL up here. You only need the URL to create the bullet, but once that's gone, you can delete that and just say, let's say if you are looking. Write something that's catchy, something that'll attract their attention. If you're looking for a home in Auburn, find all the hottest listings on our Up-to-the-Minute website. The website updates actually every hour, sometimes faster. So put whatever you want in there. Obviously, if you could also put search any. If you're looking for other towns, search my website for other towns as well. You can do whatever you want. You also have available images, so you can change the image if you want, from one to whatever you want. So once you're done, and you think you're all set with that, you can hit publish. And now there's our ad. So if I click on it, it's going to take me right over to that page. And again, once they start fooling around looking at listings, it's going to capture them as a lead. So if you're running ads, then you have to think about, okay, where are my leads going to come from? If you have a limited group of people that you're connected with and friends with on Facebook, then you probably want to work on expanding that. And personally, I think if you're real estate, if you're not connected to 1,000 people, it's not enough. If you really love your personal Facebook page for being ridiculous with your friends, then it's going to limit what you're going to do with real estate. Most agents that find the most success with Facebook, they start to look at their personal Facebook page as the image they want people to see for them doing real estate. And if they want to be silly with their friends, they use Snapchat or some other form of social media for that. And then Facebook really becomes still a mix of personal and business, but really the image of what you want them to see. Great real estate agent, knowledgeable, good at what I do, but also a family person, likes to have some fun, but I'm not ridiculous. That's why I always tell agents that are really using Facebook for business is stay away from the political stuff, stay away from the insults, or I see a couple people last week sharing the is this too soon about Aaron Hernandez,
yeah,
and the hangman jokes and the other stuff like that. I'm like, that's not, a little bit tasteless as far as, you want to do that behind the scenes and text your friends and group text or whatever, great. But if you're using that in the business, I can't tell you what to do with your Facebook page, but I can tell you that people are watching, people want to judge. So, all right, so does that make sense? Anybody have any questions with that and how to share from your website? So pretty much anything you can think of that you want to search on your website, you can run an ad for. So if you just want to add for multifamilies, if you wanted to search waterfront homes in Webster, you just want to be the lake person, you could do that. And post them on your Facebook, and if you're connected to enough people, then you could get business. If you've got a client that you're working with as a seller, try to tag them, ask them to share it with their friends. Ask some friends that are good proponents of you, hey, share. I know you're connected to a lot of people. Can you share them on your Facebook page? So the more places it goes, the more chance you have of someone clicking on it and going around and then registering, and you get the lead. That's the free stuff. So now let's go to the paid stuff. If you have a business page, you'll see this boost post. It's the easiest way to post, but it's not necessarily the most effective. So you can boost and you can spend your money and you will sometimes get leads that way, but it's not demographically focused to as specific a group as you can with the ad creator. So now let's look at ad creator. So on the left-hand side of your home page, does everybody have a business page? Okay. Probably that's a good idea to have one. Mostly for advertising, stuff like that. But the thing with business pages is they say less than, I think, 5% of people that are of your likes will actually see anything you put on your business page because Facebook wants you buying ads. So they can't do anything about it on your personal page if you're promoting your business on your personal page, because that is what it is. Everybody that's you're connected to, and even that, you notice you don't always see everything everybody posts, but depending on your settings, you'll see who you're most connected to and most interactive with more often than some others. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed, sometimes they're like, somebody will mention something like, I didn't see that, and you go on the page and you see it, and you're like, how did I miss this? It's just you're not seeing everything. But all right, so from your home page on your left-hand side, you have Ads Manager. You want to click on Ads Manager. Okay, so if you've never run an ad before, you want to click on this Create Ad button on the top right-hand side. God, this is slow. All right. So I'm going to start over. I was working on an ad. So the one you probably want to focus all your attention on is traffic. You want to get traffic to the destination that you're going to put in, which is a website. There's a lot of other options here that are meant for a lot of different things, but traffic is really the one that you want to focus on. And hit continue. You could create a campaign name. It could be called, let's say, Open Houses. If you are going to, let's say, use it for promoting open houses, let's just pretend we're doing that. And the nice thing about creating a campaign set is it's easier to run more ads in the future. You can use the settings from that campaign to run a new ad once you create your ad the first time. Okay, so the first thing, if you start scrolling down, is you're going to have to create an audience.
use my settings from the last campaign. All right, so if you had a custom audience, you could use a custom audience, but we're going to create a new audience. So let's say the one that I'm going to do is that one in Leominster that we posted over. So Leominster is where I want to focus. If you just type in Leominster, Leominster, Mass will come up. And then for the most part, unless you want to specifically advertise only in town, it's going to be a radius. So that's a pretty big radius. It's probably too big a radius for running an open house ad. So let's just drop that down to like 10 miles. So that's the radius we want. That's probably the best radius for doing an open house on Facebook. So we've got the radius. Now, age group, I would put an age group here. And in our last class, we talked about, I guess, Facebook has a concern that people are age discriminating. I wouldn't be very small with your group, but clearly somebody that's 18 is probably not buying a house. Well, they could be buying a house, but you're looking for the masses. Where are the most potential buyers coming from? So I would probably say, that house, it's a $400,000 house. Let's just say 20, 25. And it's not probably a downsizer house, so it's more likely, let's say, I'm going to say 55. Probably not a retirement house. If we keep moving down, we can then get into demographics. There are a ton of demographics in Facebook. Facebook knows pretty much everything about us. You'd be surprised what they know about us. So once you start adding them, some of the ones that you normally use will pop up, like likely to move. There's a behavior of likely to move in there. I recommend you use that one. Renter. They have renters in there. They know if people are renters. First-time home buyer. They have that in there as a demographic. Buying a house as an interest, and you'll see on the right side whether it's a demographic or an interest. They track like what people are watching, what people are interested in. My first home is an interest. So those are pretty good demographics. And if you keep watching on your right-hand side, it'll show you what your potential reach is. So in that area, the potential reach is 26,000. You can keep adding things if you want to. Let's leave it for that. You can also exclude people. So I'm going to exclude real estate agents or realtor. Job title is realtor. You can exclude them. If there's anything else you wanted to exclude, you could. I mean, that's the typical one. Or real estate agent. That's the job title, real estate agent. So just think about who you're trying to target, and you can create some pretty good demographics in here. All right, so our reach per day, they say between 1,400 and 4,000. So we've got some good demographics in there. We've got the radius in there we want. So now, if we keep moving down, you can save that audience if you want to save that audience. You could call it open house audience, whatever you want to. As far as placements go, I usually click on edit the placements, and I don't do them on Instagram. From everything I've heard, you really don't get much on Instagram. It's already
Now, as far as budget goes, you can decide what you want. It's either daily or lifetime. If you're doing an open house, you probably want to do lifetime. So basically, if you look at your daily, and once you hit lifetime, make sure you switch it back to like whatever you want, because it'll go from $20 a day to it'll show like $350 lifetime budget. You don't want to spend $300 on an ad. So this is telling me budget for this ad must be $150 a minimum. Why is that? Oh, maybe because of the time frame. Let's reduce the time frame because we're going to do an open house. So if the open house is on Sunday, you probably want to run it from, let's say, tomorrow, from let's say today through probably Saturday night, because you don't, Sunday morning, you could probably run it through Sunday morning, but end it at, maybe 10 o'clock a.m. or 11, or right before your open house. So let's say, well, at 10:02 a.m. Don't know what I did to. Okay, so if you click open the Facebook down arrow, I usually do feeds. I don't like the right column ads, and just think that they don't get that much views. I know I don't ever look at them. I don't know if you guys ever look at them. I usually just use. Then usually the news feeds is where you want your Facebook ads. Oh, I wonder if Facebook's changing the rules. It's now telling me that I got to do at least $30. If I change the date, let's say Thursday to Sunday, now that warning went away. So they're basically telling you if you're running an ad that long, you've got to do at least $30. So apparently Facebook's up in the game now, making you spend a little bit more. But
I'm surprised. It might have been your time too, because we have an 8 for today, and it was prior to one.
Maybe, yeah. All right, so it's telling me my daily reach is between 550 to 2,300 people. I'm going to run it for 4 days. It's a pretty good reach. All right, so I think we're done. Let's hit continue. Okay, so now you can choose, you can create a carousel or a single image. I'm going to create a single image. And you can either do one of two things. You can upload your own images, or if you you can basically create your ad from scratch and use your own images and your own links. You could create your own, take the link for that listing on Exit Homes For You and put it in here, or you can up here, you can go and select use an existing post. So in this case, I'm going to use an existing post because I just posted that one from the website. But you can totally create your own ad for an open house or whatever. Take one picture of the property. But obviously, if you posted it from your website, it's just easier to use existing posts. If I click on Use Existing Post, I'm then going to click on, I'm looking for the ad, and there, one of the ones we just did just popped up. So I'm going to use that ad. If it wasn't that one that you wanted, you can basically click on Select the Post, and it'll bring up the most recent posts you had on that page, and allow you to select which one you want to do. So I could have done this one for the open house, but let's just run the ad for this one, the searching in Auburn. I'm actually going to run the ad. Okay. So that's what the picture looks like. If I scroll down, I could change any of that information if I wanted to, but I think that one looks good because I set it up the right way the first time. So I am just going to hit place order. and it's done. So if you didn't hit select existing posts, you basically just walk through the boxes and you add the picture and you add the top text and the bottom text and the link on the URL that you're using, and then you hit post, and it's just basically the same thing. You don't have to create it on another page. But for most of what you're going to be doing, you're going to be sharing from your business, from your Exit Homes page onto your Facebook page, and then you're going to create the ads from what you already posted. So it's not, you don't have to create a lot of stuff. The stuff that you might create is if you're trying to do like a seller lead ad or something like that, you might do something differently. Or if you're using one of the next things I'm going to show you, which is the text code generation ads. So let's jump over, now that we've gone through, any questions on that, how to share from your business page, and then or share from your website, and then create an ad. Everybody got that down? I mean, if you have any questions once you do it the first time, just let me know. But, so let's now jump over to show you a different way of running ads. It can also be very effective. Okay, so on the Exit Resource Center, how many of you guys are using e-listings? Okay. First, I'm going to show you the e-listings way. So, you guys all know what e-listings is?
I do.
So, e-listings is a program that when you get your listings, and you post them, you can create basically virtual tours, websites, and you'll get text code lead generation for that property, all created very easily by just entering your information, your pictures, and your listings. I'm going to show you that first. So if you go into the Resource Center and go to Exitize Me, go to My E-Listings. If it's your first time signing up for it, you'll have to register for it. It's $15.95 a month. I think it's $144 if you pay for it all up front. When you log in and create your account, the best thing I can recommend is there's always a webinar every Friday that you can get on the webinar and learn how to use it far better than I would ever be able to. All right, so when you log in, there's always a webinar. Every Friday, you can sign up, learn how to use the system. Once you learn how to use the system, you basically come in here and you'll take the listing that you created in MLS and you'll create it in e-listings so that it creates all the virtual tours and websites and everything else. I'm just going to go to, so if you go to listings, you basically this is the fill-in form. So you fill in all the information on your property, you add the pictures, you add probably the MLS description, although you can be more wordy with it. And then in the red box, you put the voiceover. So it'll actually, whatever you put in the red box, it'll read back with a computer-generated voice. It's good. It does sound a little bit computer-generated. But once you save the listing, you can actually go back in and you can record your own voice. Or for, I think they're charging $4 a listing, they'll record it professionally for you. So if you really have a really nice listing and you want to really show it well, you probably want to pay for it. If it's a medium price listing, and even though you don't like your voice, record it in your own voice. If it's a $200,000 listing, nobody's ever had an issue with the computer-generated voice. Most listings are around that price range. At the lower price ranges, they're not even getting virtual tours or websites anyways. So you're already up in the game for what everybody else is doing. All right, so just to show you how to use the lead generation part of this, I'm going to open up one of my listings. So 8 Drury Lane in Oxford. I'm going to click on it. And if I scroll down to my created tour, you'll see print materials. So once you create your listing, it actually automatically creates print materials that you can print off and use for
your listings or whatever. So I'm going to go to lead generation. You can see there's 12 different lead generation flyers that have been created, 5 different presentations
And did you create those lead generations?
that are automatically created. So I like these. I like the color of them. There's some that are 2-page, 3-page, 1-page. So these are nice materials to print out and put in your listing. They're automatically created. And so there's 2 purposes of them. One is all right, let's try this. Very early internet. Not responding. All right. Go to listings. Go to maintain listings. Once you've created it, it's going to be in this drop-down box. Go to Drury Lane. Scroll down, find the print materials. Go to lead generation. Pick one. Go to open this time. Come on, there we go. All right. So this is what the flyer looks like. You can print them out. They're nice looking flyers. Good for open house. Good for just to have in your listing. It's got the text codes on it. So these text codes are specific to this property. These text codes are lead generation capture. So if anybody ever texts E208735 to 51004, they're going to get the virtual tour on the smartphone, on any phone really nowadays, and you're going to get the lead, that phone number call, requested information on that listing. So these are great for printouts, but they're also great for, and let's see, anybody know what the Microsoft screen capture?
Yes.
What is it?
Control, Alt, and then print.
Control, Alt, print?
Print.
That's print screen?
It's print screen.
The
Control,
screen
Alt, print.
capture
Yeah.
is what?
Control, Alt, print screen.
Oh, what's print screen? Oh, okay, I see it. Captures. Create a box. Let's see.
You have to put it in,
You
so
have to put it into like a Word document.
Word document or email or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, control.
or snippet. Snippet tool is what I'm looking for.
There you go.
You guys use snippet tool? Pretty much every computer has one. So now you're just going to create a new snip. And now I actually, I gotta flip it up. All right, so let me make this bigger. Oh, I don't want that bigger. I want that. Okay, that will reduce the size. So now let's snip it. Just going to take a snip of this. All right. Save it. Snippet.
Okay, you just take my concern with that one.
Yeah, snippet tool. All right, so now we're going to go back to Facebook. So we have our code is, somebody write down this code, 51004, and then E208735. I can always come back. Where is our...
Also, when you buy those riders, you get 3 of them for $15.95. This isn't just buying one rider,
Right.
unless they change.
Yeah,
the
so
price.
with those text codes, when you have the e-listings program, you also can get the riders a little bit put on your sides. Let's go back to our personal page. Actually, let's just put it on my personal page this time. On my mind, my computer's not working. That's what's on my mind.
Gee, what's on my mind?
I'm not happy with you right now. Or slow. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is going to add that photo. Photo or video? Come on. Where is it? Oh, right. Okay. Come on. Okay, sure. Picture. What's the text code? 208735. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
To 51004. Is that the number?
Yeah.
Okay. Good number. Oh, no, the picture. Oh, so that's good. Okay. Oh, it's creating an album. I think we do that. Because it was still uploading the same. One more maybe. It's gone so slow that I don't know what it's doing. I think you guys get the point. So basically, I think it's pretty accurate enough right now. So basically, you're taking that picture and you're using it. The only thing I'd probably recommend, though, if you're using it for lead capture, is where we had taken a screenshot of the whole thing. Let's go back to that. What is it? Try the notes. So slow. So our picture, we took a picture of the whole thing and it had the address on it. You might want to take only a picture of the part that has the picture, the 3 pictures. That way, when you're running your ad in Facebook, they have to click on it to get the address.
Gotcha.
Or they have to, well, they don't have to click on it. They have to basically text that code to get it. So you just basically say, text this number to this number for information on this great home in Oxford, and then you're giving them a picture and the text code, and they know it's in Oxford, and they know the price. They just don't know the address. They're probably going to text that code. So that's another great way to do it. If you don't have e-listings program and you've got a couple listings, the other way you can do it is Exit actually has under your properties tab, you have a program that's not as good as Exit eListings. So Exit eListings creates the videos, creates the websites, creates the virtual tours, and provides you with the text codes. Exit, if you don't have that program, you still have text codes available to you that are specific to each property, but they're not reassignable. So you couldn't, if you ordered a rider with it, you have to throw the rider away after it's done. Mm-hmm. They're not always going to be your codes. They're going to be specific to the individual property. So if you go to your properties, your listings will show up. It'll pop it here in a second. So you pick your listing, you hit promote. And you'll see you actually have a flyer. You can get, and if you open the flyer, save it. So this is the flyer that's created just by Exit Ready Corporate, and you have a text code that's available with that.
So you don't really have to do a name writer, sign writer, you could just use that.
Yeah, so you could print, again, if you don't have e-listings and you're just, or you don't have it yet, or you're not sure if you really need to go that far with it, Exit Ready under the Resource Center, you will have text codes that are specific to that property. So that text code right there is specific to that property. So now if you wanted to just basically run an ad on Facebook, you could take the picture, the front picture of the property, post that, put 355 Leominster, text this code to this code for more property, and it'll be a lead capture versus just nothing. So those are really the 2 best ways, in my opinion, to try to generate leads: is shares from your website, and using the text codes from either eListings or the Resource Center to try to capture leads. And just because you don't have your own personal listings doesn't mean the office doesn't have listings. Doesn't mean you can't do price ranges. You won't have text codes associated with the price ranges, but you could always ask an other agent in the office, hey, do you mind if I share yours? You just won't have your own personal text codes for that. So any questions with any of that? I mean, the big thing is to do something, constantly have something going on your website. from the page so that, you know, people are, you know, on there searching around, say, share with anybody you know that might be looking for something like this. So even if you add that note on all your, even, you know, the text code ad that you're running, just say, share with anybody you know that might be interested in this. Again, you might get someone that says, oh yeah, one of my friends is looking for this kind of house. They share it, and the next thing you know,
Good to buy.
they would buy it. Just from the, I know a couple of agents were starting to do this after our last class on this kind of thing, and like John Crow said, he spent $20 and got 2 really good leads out of it on Facebook by running fire ads for the towns that he's trying to work in. And it works. And the nice thing about Facebook, it's not as a long-term of commitment as like your River.coms or your Zillows. They're going to be looking for a year commitment out of you, and they're, you know, looking for at least a couple $100 a month out of you. And with this kind of advertising, whether you're doing, you know, obviously you should be doing the free, no matter what. And then from time to time, if you say, you know what, I'm doing an open house this weekend, or, you know, I just want to try to get some leads in the town I want to work in, just run a $10, $20 ad here and there and get some leads on it. Any questions? All right, hopefully that was worth it.
It was.
All right, good. Thanks, guys.